This is Talk of the Town on News Radio Wood, 106.9 FM and 1300 AM. I'm Brett Bakita, co-host from West Michigan's Morning News with Steve Kelly, who couldn't be with us today. And I'm happy to be joined in studio with Major Tim Meyer of the Salvation Army. He is the commander of the Grand Valley area, a busy guy, especially right now with some tornadoes that went through the area down in Kalamazoo, which is part of his coverage area. We'll get into that and what the Salvation Army does. But Major, thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Thank you for the invitation, Brett.
I tell you, there's an exciting event coming up a week from this Sunday as we talk to you here on Sunday afternoon. And all next week, by the way, is Salvation Army Week nationally. Now, that was established by President Dwight D. Eisenhower in 1954, nearly 100 years after the Salvation Army was established in London, England. So I guess it's perfect for me to say Happy National Salvation Army Week.
Thank you, Brett. Yeah, following World War I and II and the Korean conflict, it was apparent that the Salvation Army was active not only in the United States, but helping those who were deployed overseas. And so Eisenhower was very appreciative of the Salvation Army's work, declared that. And so it gives us an opportunity once a year, other than Christmas, to kind of say, hey, we're still here. We're serving 365 days a year. We serve in every county in Michigan, in every zip code. And so this week is a special one for us.
Now, Salvation Army has been a part of your family, even you were growing up with your parents, you were telling me off the air. But I know that I don't have to tell you this history lesson, but for our listeners out there, the Salvation Army goes way back as far as the Grand Rapids area. Share some of the history with us, because that's part of what a special event is going to be coming up this Sunday.
Sure. Last November, we celebrated the 140th anniversary of the very beginning of the Salvation Army in all of Michigan. Began here in Grand Rapids, and again, it was a donor who had seen the work of the Salvation Army in another city, in fact, in another country, and said, I'd like the Salvation Army to start here, contacted our national headquarters and international headquarters and did some funding to get us started. They sent some officers here, and so this is the 140th year, and especially very unique in the Salvation Army. Many people may not know we have brass bands. This is the very first brass band at a Salvation Army was established right here in Grand Rapids. It's the first one in the USA and the longest continuous serving Salvation Army brass band.
Wow. 140 years, and it started right here in the Mitten State in Grand Rapids. And thus, you've got not only for the whole weekend festivities coming up, because there's a World War I exhibit that's going to be in town on Friday. But tell us about this concert and the band coming together, and also an open house here at the Grand Rapids facility.
Yeah, so on Sunday we will have an open house in the afternoon. Of course, we have worship service in the morning. Folks are welcome to attend that. And then we have an open house. Some historical displays will be there. We will have a silent auction, and then we will have a alumni band rehearsal and performance. And during that performance, we will announce the winners of the silent auction. So there's some good things that have been donated by local companies. We appreciate that. But again, we expect that there will be many people who've served throughout the years that are still able to play and play at a reasonable level that will join us for that alumni band.
That is very cool. And again, some of the prizes, if you want to take part in the silent auction: Amway Grand Plaza, one-night stay for two downtown; West Michigan Whitecaps Premium Family Pack includes 4 box seats, 4 hot dogs, 4 sodas. You got the Grand Rapids Griffins with a jersey. I mean, the list goes on and on. Frederick Meyer Gardens and Sculpture Garden Family Pack, 2 adults and 2 children. We do a lot with them and their concert series coming up in the summer. So check those out. And what is the best website for people that want to find out more about the Salvation Army here in Kent County and your services, but also about this event?
If they go to sakentcounty.org, that is the best place to go. From there, you can navigate. Anyone in your listening audience can navigate to either the Kent County site, but there are links to all the Salvation Army sites in the Grand Valley area. And certainly, if there's something outside that, you can search by zip code. But you can center in on the Grand Rapids Fulton Heights Citadel. They also have a Facebook page. Just Google Google the Salvation Army, Grand Rapids, Fulton Heights. There will be information there as well. The address is 1235 Fulton Street. That's where the Fulton Heights Citadel is located. Now, we have Salvation Army services throughout the city, throughout the county, and we do a number of things year-round, but that is the date and the place to go to find the information, Brett.
And again, that open house and silent auction will be held at 2 o'clock. That's this Sunday, May 19th, Fulton Heights location, as Major was talking about. Major Tim Myers joined us in studio from the Salvation Army here, our Grand Valley area commander of the Salvation Army and its services. And that's what I want to spotlight next, Major, is we just had a terrible storm go through and multiple tornadoes hitting the Kalamazoo and Portage area. You're a part of that as the commander of this area, and I'm happy to report, and I'll have you share some more details, but Salvation Army is down there. They're active and doing some great things to try to help those people get back to life.
Yeah, even as soon as the weather had cleared, the Salvation Army Disaster Services, we call them our EDS, volunteers were on site assessing and preparing refreshment, hydration, snacks, spiritual and emotional care for folks. Obviously, we want to stay clear of those who need to be there first to make sure that it's safe. We do not want to become part of the issue, but immediately afterward, the following day, we had 3 canteens at various sites. Spartan Nash has donated food and water for refreshment. The community comes together. We've offered shelter for individuals and just any number of things. And the area command are the 9 counties in southwest Michigan. So in addition to the very active emergency disaster team in Kalamazoo, we had our disaster team from Grand Rapids join with them with our resources. And this is, again, something people may not realize about the Salvation Army. There are many things that we do in preparedness. So we have volunteers. We have a ham radio group that helps. Cell traffic gets extremely busy during emergencies. And so we come alongside first responders, and we have a Salvation Army team emergency radio network. It's Saturn, and those are volunteers who are ready in a moment's notice to set up communications for back channel so that services can be provided where they're needed and when.
Wow, very cool. And just one of the things you can find out and ask questions about with this open house on Sunday, as I mentioned, starting at 2 o'clock. What about some other services? You mentioned the big campaign that people know you for is around Christmas time with the red kettle and the ringing of the bells, but you do so much throughout the year, especially for our senior citizens.
We do. The Fulton Heights Citadel has one of the largest senior programs in the county. It may be the largest one. And so last year they had 41,700 or more who attended the senior programs just at that facility.
Wow. And
served 8,800 meals to seniors throughout the year. They do all types of activities, seniors specific exercises, things like that. We work with GVSU students to help with health and fitness and nutrition. But then the Salvation Army in Kent County has a tremendous impact. We helped 6,600 people with housing last year. 11,000 people benefited from our food pantry, which is 5 days a week and year-round. And utility assistance, more than almost 900 households, and 1,500 households served at Christmas time. That's when we're more on the radar. But these services go on throughout the year, and so that financial support is so important that we receive not only at Christmas, but as people see us and see appeals throughout the year.
For all the details about what we've been talking about and the information, again, go to sakentcounty.org. That's SA for Salvation Army, kentcounty.org. And again, the event with the band concert, the open house, and everything in Grand Rapids is this Sunday, May 19th at 2 o'clock. Major, thank you so much for you and the entire Salvation Army here in the Grand Valley area that you're under the command for all the services you do and sharing that with us today here on Talk of the Town.
Thank you, Brett, and thank you for helping us to get the word out. And we pray that this is a good event, not just to celebrate what the Salvation Army has been doing, but also to share information to the community about the services that we do provide.
He is Major Tim Meyer, Salvation Army Grand Valley Area Commander, joining us on this edition of Talk of the Town here on Wood Radio.